Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Test test test. 1 2 3.
The tournaments, the season ends next week, and then the following Sunday they'll announce, and then.
Questions?
Good morning. Really excited for Friday night in-state game, the first one that we've gotten to play. So had a really good week of practice, good week of prep, and another opportunity to improve, get better, and I know the fans would love to see us get a win in this one and right the ship a little bit. But NAU is a really good team. We're excited for the opportunity. They've got a really, really, really good player. Their coach is getting them to play extremely hard. So we know we've got a good challenge in front of us, and we're just excited for the opportunity.
About NAU, I mean, they've got a new coach this year, and getting used to entirely new things. So what do you see that they do well?
They play really hard. And the thing with this team is they have a kid that's averaging 23 a game right now. We haven't seen a player as dynamic as this player that's coming in here on Friday night. We've seen some teams that do it collectively. We've seen some teams that do it by committee and have solid, good players. But as far as the head of the snake goes and like this, her being the heartbeat of their team and how she goes, everything goes, we haven't quite seen that yet. So focused our prep on really just doing a good job making everything hard for her, making her play in a crowd, making her feel our presence, making her feel our length. But to the left and to the right of her, she's got really good players around her too. But we just haven't seen a kid coming in here averaging 23 yet so far this season, a kid as dynamic as this one. And so they run everything through her. She takes a ton of shots. So it's gonna be an interesting game plan to see, how big of an impact this player can be for this team. How well do we do in making things difficult for her for 40 minutes? But they're playing hard for their new coach. They're excited. When I watch them on film, I think they're one of the better teams we've played so far this year.
How did Aari McDonald night come to be?
Actually, Coach Julie had the idea to just do something to recognize her and bring her back. Aari has been such a big supporter since the moment we got this job. I mean, reached out immediately. Her and I go back and forth on social media, really, really often. And so she's just excited for the new direction of this program. She's excited about, obviously this being her alma mater and somebody that meant so much to this program. So the support that she's shown us from the very beginning since we got here has just been felt. And so we wanted to do something in return to make sure that we honor her and, being a couple years removed, make sure that we just remind everybody what she meant to this place, and no better way than to, really just committing an entire night to her in a game, and having her at the football game on Saturday is going to be amazing as well. So Julie came up with the idea. I thought it was absolutely incredible. So we just kind of went with it. Aari was super excited. We had to work around her schedule and what she's doing with her new team. And it just worked out. It worked out perfect. Administration's been great, just helping us get logistics figured out. But what better way to get a couple thousand more fans in these seats to come back and see Aari and celebrate her, and we'll do the same as a program.
And how important is it to, like Sam was here when you were introduced, and then Aari, these players who were a big deal in the rebuilding of this program, getting them here?
I feel like they were my players. Like, that's how much they've wrapped their arms around me, and like just the constant communication. I talk to Sam all the time. You just see the players that have stopped by the office or reached out or texted or emailed. I mean, it's really, really incredible. But specifically Sam and Aari and the players that meant so much to this program. It's not about who the head coach is sitting in that seat. It's about this place. It's about McKale. It's about the city of Tucson. It's about their experience here, and I think they'll be forever grateful for that. So it's just that's the least I can do to just continue to make them feel at home and make them feel welcome. But it's a really, really, really good feeling, because I'm sure there are places where a new head coach can come in and not feel that love from the really, really important alums. And I haven't been one of those. I've felt it from day one, and I'm just extremely grateful for that.
Is there going to be an opportunity for Aari to talk to the team on Friday?
Yes, we've got a whole kind of weekend plan for her. She's going to get some time to talk to the team. Obviously, she'll stop by practice. I think we're going to try to get her on the broadcast for the game, at least for a little bit. I'm sure she'll have some time before or during halftime to make sure we get her on the mic and talk to the fans. Don't quote me on any of these specifics, but she will absolutely have some time to engage and be heard by everybody, which I'm excited about.
What is the value for your players to talk to somebody like that?
I don't know that you could put a, price tag on it. She's arguably the best to ever do it here. She took us to the promised land. That's where we want to go. And this is somebody that put a team on her back and took them there, So to not take every advantage to pick her brain and figure out how and why and what and all those things, that's the goal, to get back to a Final Four here at Arizona. So to have somebody in the building that's been there and done it, I think is invaluable. And, somebody that's close in age to them, that's this place meant so much to, because she embraced Tucson, she embraced the University of Arizona, and we want our players to do the same thing.
We talked to Sumaya the other night about taking more shots. You had mentioned that you wanted her to do that. I think she made only 3 of 9, but it seemed like they were good shots, right? She wasn't forcing anything. Yeah. How did you feel like she followed your instructions or your guidance as far as being more aggressive?
Yeah, I think she came out more aggressive. She's taking good shots like we've talked about. It's not she's not forced anything. She's not taking bad ones, and I just think she just needs to continue to stay the course. Samaya's small. Like she gets in there, she gets good looks. Like we got to finish. We got to finish through contact over length, and she got knocked down shots from the perimeter, which she did the other night. She took a really good 3. Off a loose ball situation. It was a super confident shot. I don't know if that I would have shot that, but it went in. And so just seeing her, just taking the right shots and her teammates being supportive of the shots that she's taking, and just seeing that aggressive mindset come out with her a little bit more. She just needs to continue to work. It doesn't just happen overnight in one game. But she fouled out again. It just was a little later in the game, so thankful she hung in there a little bit longer. But we're still continuing to work through some of these things. But I think if you harp on it too long with players and you overdo it with them in terms of the conversations and the talk, she knows what she needs to do. I'm not one of those coaches that's just going to continue to harp on it day after day after day. We've had the conversations. She knows what needs to be done.
You mentioned sort of righting the ship as far as the in-state rivalry with NAU. Yeah. Is anyone left who played in last year's game?
Yeah, I think, you would normally use that as bulletin board material, right? I mean, they ain't got anybody left. We ain't got anybody left. So, there's 2 returners, I believe they have. One of them plays significant minutes this year, and then obviously we have Montea who isn't playing for us yet. So, but did I tell our players what happened twice last year? Yes, I did. So.
Are you interested in playing Grand Canyon in the future in the non-con, just because it's a bus ride? You don't have to get on a plane. Yeah,
absolutely. I think all options are open. Our goal in scheduling in the future is, what is the best path for us to be in the NCAA tournament? That is our number one priority. Is what is the best path, strength of schedule, net, RPI, all of those things, home games, road games, neutral site, tournaments. And I've got a little team within the office that's working really, really hard on just figuring out a plan for scheduling moving forward, and what is the best path for us to make the NCAA tournament, because that's what we're here to do.
When you think about that, do you think wins are more important or a really strong schedule? I mean, because sometimes you have to decide.
Yeah. It's there's so much more to it than you would ever imagine or believe. So we've got Michelle Marciniak, Julie, and then we've got one of our GAs, Delaney. That's my little scheduling squad. They put a PowerPoint presentation together for me. We were in there for an hour and a half the other day going over it, the mathematical numbers and this, you wouldn't believe. I mean, it was 25 slides long about what scheduling looks like next year for us. I don't think anybody has it completely figured out, but if you do it the right way and you study it enough, you can figure out your best path path. So it's not just the home games, road games, the wins, the losses. It's are you playing a quad 1 team? Are you playing a quad 4 team? Are you playing at a neutral site? Are you there's so many different things than how you do in the conference. It's so much more elaborate than anybody thinks. So we're going to put together a schedule that obviously we can get the most wins possible next year while trying our best to make sure we make the NCAA tournament.
Fan emailed me asking about Freddie and how come she hasn't played. How would you describe where she's at as far as getting minutes?
Yeah, just inconsistent. And I tell her the two things for me are consistency and reliability. And I don't think she's done either one of those at a high enough level. And I sit in my office and tell her those two words all the time: be consistent, be reliable. I need you to do those two things. Freddie's got a lot of talent, but gets in her own way sometimes. And if she can be consistent every day at practice and she can be reliable, then she will earn opportunities. But just still working with her from those standpoints, because Freddie really could help us. But I'm not a coach that's just going to play the people that are talented. Do you practice hard every day? Are you reliable? Are you consistent? Are you a great teammate? Are you all of those things? You know what I mean? And so I hope she comes around. I hope she earns the opportunity. But as everything in this program is earned, nothing is ever given. And so that won't be changing.
Are you done with 2026 high school kids, or could there be another addition or two?
Yeah, there could always. We're never done in recruiting. So if somebody's good enough, I'm all ears. We have one that we're waiting. We're down to her top 4 or 5, I believe. She's making a decision, I think, a little bit later. So I know we're a finalist for her. But there could be an international 2026 true freshman, like an MJ situation that comes late, in this. After our season, you just never know. But what I would say is we are never done recruiting ever. So if somebody pops up or there's a situation or whatever the case may be, you're never going to just close the door on any opportunity for a good player.
In this day and age, how much weight do you give to freshman class versus portal?
Yeah, well, obviously, I think we're gonna retain a decent chunk of our team from this year, and the best pieces from our team, and obviously the ones that can return. And then the plan moving forward is to bring in a really, really good class of freshmen, which we've already done, and maybe 1 or 2 more sneak into that class. But then you got to supplement transfers. So what does your returning group look like? What do those freshmen look like? And then what do you need to supplement around them as far as from a transfer standpoint? And I say supplement, but we're going to need some impact transfers this coming off season. And so what do those 2 groups look like? Your returners, your freshmen, and then what do you need around them from a transfer standpoint? And that's the beauty of already knowing your returners and then knowing what freshmen you have, is that now you can fit those missing pieces of the puzzle in the portal. But yeah, there's a balancing act. Some people are, I'm gung-ho, I'm all freshmen. Some people are like, nope, I'm done with freshmen, I'm only going transfers. I've always been a hodgepodge and a little bit of mix of each, because I don't like the roster to be too heavily one way or another.
Getting back to Aari, she's an undersized guard, would that be fair to say? Which is kind of like how your team is, little smaller players, scrappy players. Do you think there's some inspiration that they can take when she walks in the room and maybe they see, hey, she's about the same size as we are?
I sure hope so. Now, Aari's strong. I mean, I gave the kid a hug. I mean, she got some muscle on her. But yeah, absolutely. If Samaya and Lonnie can't look at her and be like, holy cow, look what she was able to do here at Arizona at her size, our size, and just draw some inspiration from that. She was able to be one of the most dynamic players in the country at 6, 7. So yeah, I would hope, especially Samaya and Lonnie, should look at her and just be completely inspired, which I know they already are. Thank you, guys.